Have you ever laid in bed completely exhausted, but the second your head hits the pillow, your brain decides it's time to replay every awkward moment from 2007? You're tired. Your body is tired, your eyes burn, but your mind wide awake. And here's the part that makes it worse. The harder you try to sleep, the more awake you feel. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken, you're not bad at sleeping, and you definitely don't lack discipline. Your brain isn't staying awake because you're thinking too much. It's staying awake because your neurological alert system is stuck in overdrive, and that changes everything. Most people believe insomnia is caused by stress, screens, caffeine, or anxiety. And yes, those can contribute, but they're not the root cause for chronic tired but wired sleep issues. Here's what's really happening. Your brain has something called an internal alert system. Its job is to keep you safe. When it senses danger, it floods your body with cortisol, your stress hormone, to make you more alert. That's useful when you're being chased by something. It's not useful when you're lying in bed at 11:47 p.m. trying to sleep. For many chronic insomniacs, that alert system doesn't fully power down at night. Instead of cortisol gradually decreasing in the evening, it spikes. This is often referred to as a midnight cortisol spike. And when cortisol rises, your brain becomes sharper, faster, more analytical. Thoughts multiply. You replay conversations. You plan tomorrow. You worry about not sleeping, which ironically makes you even more awake. It becomes a vicious cycle. Racing thoughts, cortisol release, alertness, more thoughts, more cortisol, all night long. This is why counting sheep doesn't work. It's why meditation apps sometimes help for a few days, then stop. It's why sleep medications knock you out but don't feel restorative, because most solutions are treating the symptoms, not the neurological trigger. And here's something important. If you notice your brain feels louder at night than during the day, that's not a coincidence. During the day, your alert system has somewhere to direct its energy: emails, errands, conversations, noise. At night, when everything gets quiet, there's nothing to distract your mind from its own stimulation. So it turns inward. That's why so many people wake up at 3 a.m. specifically. It's when cortisol patterns can surge if your circadian rhythm is even slightly misaligned. And once you're awake, the anxiety about being awake kicks in. Why am I up again? I have to wake up in 4 hours. Tomorrow is going to be miserable. Now your body thinks there's a threat, and the cycle repeats. This isn't a willpower issue. It's a neurological loop. The good news: loops can be interrupted. What changed everything for me wasn't another supplement, not another mattress, not another sleep app. It was learning how to directly shut down the alert system before it spirals. Instead of trying to relax, I started using a structured 5-step neurological wind-down method specifically designed to lower cortisol, reset circadian timing, and quiet mental overstimulation. And here's the difference. Relaxation techniques try to calm you down. Neurological techniques signal safety to your brain. That distinction matters. One of the first steps is something called a neural reset protocol, a short sequence that interrupts racing thoughts within about 90 seconds by redirecting cognitive processing patterns, not suppressing thoughts, interrupting the loop. Then there's a specific breathing cadence that directly influences cortisol regulation, not generic, deep breathing, a timed sequence that signals to your nervous system that the threat is over. When you combine that with circadian calibration, aligning light exposure, timing, and pre-sleep cues, something powerful happens. Your brain stops fighting sleep and starts cooperating with it. Most people assume falling asleep in 10 minutes is something only good sleepers can do. But when the alert system is quiet, sleep is automatic. Children don't try to sleep. They just fall asleep because their nervous systems aren't overstimulated. Chronic insomnia isn't usually about inability. It's about interference. Remove the interference, sleep returns. Now, let me address something important. If you're currently relying on sleep medications, this isn't about quitting abruptly. Always consult your doctor before changing anything. But many people find that once their neurological sleep response stabilizes, dependence gradually reduces naturally. The key is restoring the body's own rhythm instead of overriding it. And that doesn't take hours. The full method I follow takes about 10 minutes total. That's less time than most people spend scrolling before bed. But it has to be done in the right sequence, because the brain responds to order, not randomness. If your brain won't shut off at night, it's not because you're broken. It's because your alert system hasn't been properly powered down. And once you understand that, you stop blaming yourself. You stop panicking at 3 a.m. You stop dreading bedtime. You start seeing sleep as something that can be restored, not chased. If you want to learn the exact 5-step structure that resets this cycle, I've linked a full breakdown in the description below. It walks through the entire neurological approach in detail. New pressure, just information. But if tonight has been looking like every other night lately, maybe it's time to try something that works with your brain instead of fighting it. Because your brain isn't your enemy. It just needs the right signal. And when it gets it, sleep comes naturally.